Hi, this is Erin Lincoln, and I'm here to show you how to do some masking with your stamps and coordinating dies. It's very easy, no fussy cutting involved, and you can create great projects like this. Basically a flat panel card with lots of intricate overlapping designs and a sponged ink background. And it's very simple to do. Okay, I want all my die cutting to be done first, and that's why right now I am stamping Background Basics Textile on Smoky Shadow cardstock. So I can create this thanks right here with the wet paint cuts. That's the element design there. Now I have these Post-it notes that have adhesive on the entire back of them, and I'm using those for my masking material. You can get these at Staples or Office Max or whatever. They're really invaluable and nice and thin and cheap. So I'm running through all the dies that I want to create masks with. I have a hard time saying that word. My speech impediment from childhood showing. So I just ran those through really quick. And I'm going to take the negative portion and disregard that. And because these are all sticky on the back, I just flip my plate over and I'm keeping the die cuts all safe and secure and organized on the back side of that plate. And I'm going to cut my thanks from the wet paint cuts off of that Smoky Shadow inked up stamped piece of scrap paper I created earlier. And one last little piece of texture on my white panel is the stitching line dies for a dotted border that'll ground my design. Okay, here are my masks created with Post-it notes that have adhesive on the entire back. I'm sure you can use masking paper or whatever else you use. I've never bought masking paper, so I'm not really sure if that's readily available. These work great for me. And what I'm doing is I'm just placing my masks on my background where I would like my stamped images to be. Because I'm going to sponge all the way around this with an ink dabber. Nice little clusters. It's like stickers. It's exactly what they're like. This is so simple. Okay. I'm going to get my Friendly Flowers stamp set, and I'm going to stamp some flowers on the background using the ink that I'm going to sponge in that area. Because I want a subtle effect. I want these flowers to sort of show in the background but blend in at the same time. And when you sponge your ink on your background, it's not as saturated or intense as it would be when you stamp. So you get like a depth of color and design when you go ahead and stamp before you sponge. Okay, this is My Father, My Hero. It's an older stamp set. I'm using this to create some more interest in my background with this corrugated cardboard type stamp. Okay, and now I think it's time to do some ink sponging. I have this little Tim Holtz ink applicator, and I'm just going to get stamp on my felt pad and in a circular motion apply that ink to my background, and it's nice and soft and shaded. It's really a fun technique. Here in this corner, it's Hibiscus Burst ink, and this was scrap that I was saving. It's a cover plate Harlequin, and if I sponge through it, you get the design transfer kind of like a stencil. That was just to add some interest. This was really a playful project for me. I just kind of threw it together. I enjoyed myself immensely. So, play, have fun, experiment with your supplies. Little Summer Sunrise sponged in this corner. And without changing my felt pad, I got a little Hibiscus Burst there in the middle to blend them. And you notice everything's going over those masks I created. All right, I changed my foam applicator there. And in the opposite corners, I'm going for some cooler tones with Aqua Mist and Limeade Ice. I'm just playing, having fun. This isn't my usual style, you might notice, and I think there's some value in branching out and doing something a little different. Plus I get to show you this masking technique with the Post-it notes and dies. Okay, I'm going to lift up my masks, or some of them rather. You notice no ink got beneath the little edges. So I have some nice white pristine shapes, basically targets for my stamps for friendly flowers that I'm going to fill in. Here's my leaves. I'm going to stamp these in New Leaf ink. And if you notice, I only took away the leaf masks because I don't want the leaf being stamped into my flower, and that's why I'm leaving those. I'm just peeling things off one at a time and creating this scene and this cluster. I tried using everyone's favorite products from the last couple releases with Friendly Flowers and the wet paint stamps and dies. I know a lot of you have those. Okay, another flower up here in Raspberry Fizz. And you notice, there is a white halo because the dies are slightly larger than the stamps. But I think it just sort of adds to the effect. It's certainly not a deterrent for me. I liked how this turned out. I'll definitely be doing it again. It works. There's no reason why you can't add this to your masking arsenal. It's definitely an easy way to do it. All right, in Friendly Flowers, we have like this little dotted image, and I'm randomly stamping this just to add a little bit more interest to the background. And it's actually going to bail me out a little bit later where I have a little ink smudge mistakes. So it's just, I'll show you a way to fix that. Okay, lastly, we have Wet Paints, the original stamp set. And this stamp completes the phrase, "Thanks for everything." And I'm stamping that in new True Black ink, rather. Just right over top. I'm going to go ahead and peel up my thanks. And you notice it's white behind. And now to keep with the appearance of that white halo effect, because we used the dies to mask, I'm going to just offset this thanks and smoky shadow. And now that word is going to have the same look as the flowers. Like it has a little shadow itself. There you go. Okay, this all goes on a smoky shadow card base, A2 card base. And this allows those dots from the stitching line dies to pop. Now you see where those come into play. Just needed something to ground my project. Okay, here's the original. And if you notice on my new one, I smeared a little pink ink where there shouldn't be any pink ink. It must have been on my fingers or something instead of scrapping the whole card. I'm getting those little dots again and adding some more and covering up all my little mistakes. I say little a lot. I need to cut that out. My big mistakes. There you go. Just random here, there, everywhere. Nothing clustered together. Okay, and one more thing. I already made mistakes, so we might as well make this look kind of messy on purpose, is take a little water and a sprayer and spray the water directly on your background, and it creates these water spots, which are really kind of neat and cool. Okay, there you go. That is how you use your dies and coordinating stamps to mask off your projects. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next week with Make It Monday.